should have balloons.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to your 8th annual Canadian Vascular Access Infusion Therapy Day. My name is Melissa Stark. I'm the Executive Director for SIVA. I'm just looking at who's all on the call so far. I know a lot of you. Welcome. Great to have you here. Even though we can't see you in the webinar mode. We do have some of our board members here today. And there's probably going to be a few more joining. But maybe I'll just let the four of you that are on the call right now just sort of quickly introduce yourselves as board members. Maybe I'll start my top corner here. Brenda.
Good morning, afternoon, depending on where you are across Canada. My name is Brenda Gray, and I am your outgoing treasurer. This is my last year as I've been passing the baton. So I'm excited to celebrate today with everyone.
Great. Shanda.
I'm Shanda McDonald. I am the president-elect for SIVA National. Really excited in this role and been part of SIVA for approximately 10 years. So, and also Nova Scotia chapter president.
Great. Julia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julia Casey. I am a director at large. I've been part of SIVA for a number of years now and doing many different things in many committees. And hello to all my Coverdale nurses. I see a whole bunch of them on the list there of attendees.
Awesome. And Alana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alana Aquino. I am new to the board, and I will be a director at large, which is very exciting. I've been part of SIVA for several years now and can't wait for this new adventure.
Awesome. So this is our sort of first time doing one of these National Day webinars. We thought we'd try and come together. I know a lot of chapters and a lot of other people are celebrating in person today in all sorts of different ways. So we're thrilled about that. But we thought we'd sort of come on and have a virtual hangout. So feel free to put questions in the chat or, ask to, if you've got questions or want to make a comment or anything, I'm happy to sort of unmute you and allow you to have a participate, of course, but if you have other questions you just want to put in, we've kind of got some things planned for this little time together, and then but really we want it to be sort of for you. If there's something that you want to share or ask, please feel free. So this is sort of this is some of our board. We actually were all together 2 weekends ago in Toronto. So the board every year in January we get together for a big weekend where we spend the weekend planning the year. So this is us, and we're all very happy to be celebrating today. So as I mentioned, Janny will be joining us in a little bit. She just had a work thing, as I know all of you do. Lots of things come up in your work, so we'll hear from her in a little bit. I wanted to sort of share a bit about the guidelines because our sort of theme this year is really, that evidence-informed practice, best practices for the guidelines for your patients. And I know a lot of you know that this year is the year of the 2024 guidelines are coming out. We're super excited about it. We've been working on it. We started early last year. So we thought we'd spend some of this time together to sort of answer any questions that come up, just sort of share, the process, what the guidelines looked like before, what they're going to look like coming forward, some new changes and things we can expect. And like I said, answer any questions. So we don't have we haven't got the design for the new 2024 yet, but it probably will look a bit different, but it will be 2024. So that was the mandate to update them every 5 years. So sort of how we did the 2019 version. So we actually started this project back in 2015. There was a survey of members and really best practice national comprehensive guidelines were #1 priority. For some of you longtime members, I know I see some people on the call who I know have been with SIVA well before me. SIVA started in 1975 as CINA, the Canadian Intravenous Nurses Association. And I know I can see some people on the call now that were involved in CINA way back when. So there used to be something called the SIVA or CINA Red Book, which was like a very small sort of, that was the guidelines back in 1999. I think they were last done. So when we, back in 2015, we realized we need to update these. So it was our first time as a board and my as a project manager, and sort of, so it took quite a while to kind of get on our feet. We are hoping this time is going to go a bit faster because we've learned a lot during that process. But we initially started the guidelines back in 2015, and then they launched at the SIVA conference in Quebec City, which before pandemic was our last sort of in-person one before this past one in Toronto. We had, we've had really great uptake with these guidelines. Our goal was really to have the SIVA guidelines be the go-to resource. So I think, just even based on some of the, the bingo card submissions we've been getting today and things like that, and sales and industry purchasing them and institutions purchasing them, and just how they're being referenced, and they really are becoming that go-to guideline for Canada, especially. I know a lot of you before they were around, sort of the INS were the go-to, and really we're seeing that the SIVA ones are first and foremost, which is exactly what we want to see. This is great. Great to see. So this is the original crew, the GDG, so the Guideline Development Group. That's what we call them, the GDG. Look at all those smiling faces. I think that was early on in the process. I'm sure by the end we're all a little bit tired after all those years of work. But this dedicated group, very much similar to the current dedicated group, they spent weekends, like plural, over years, really working on this and getting consensus and doing all of the research and everything to get these to be best practice consensus guidelines. So in terms of just the other piece about the uptake I wanted to mention is we've had 2 health authorities. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Nova Scotia and a shout out to Winnipeg. So this is something we really want to be promoting even more with the 2024 guidelines, but we've had some health authorities, so those 2 I mentioned, purchase access to the SIVA guidelines for all their staff. So we're really thrilled about that. And we just actually launched, if anybody's thinking that they want to see if they could do that in their hospital or their organization, we've just launched some other tiers for sort of multi-user licenses. So, if you're a health authority and you've got the funds to sort of give everybody access, great, we'd love to see that. But we've also instituted an institutional one, so say a hospital or a healthcare organization, and then also departmental. So there are different levels of access and pricing. So if you've got funds as a department head or something, please reach out, because that's something brand new that we've launched, and it will be, if you purchase it now and give access to all of your staff, the 2024 guidelines, when they come, they'll sort of seamlessly be uploaded. So you'll get the newest and greatest when they launch. So we're back at it. This is our new GDG, our new Guidelines Development Group. And again, smiling faces at the beginning of the project. So we'd love to see it. We had a weekend back in November. We've got a weekend next weekend. And really there's 15 clinicians from across Canada, from across, healthcare settings. And they all come together and spend so much time. This is all volunteer, so much homework time and so much time away from their family and lives to come to a office building and near the airport in Toronto for a whole weekend, and we kind of hunker down and go through the recommendations day and night. So this is one of the back in November when we were all together. We worked so long that in the office building the lights went out, and we just all worked by the light of our laptop. So there's such a dedicated group. I know there's certainly some on the board here and some on the call. So a huge shout out to all of you. It's a ton of work, and it's so valuable, though. We're really excited for what's to come. So I'll sort of let Brenda and or Shanda to sort of speak to kind of the process for what the 2024 revision is looking like. Janny's here too. Hi, Janny. We'll come back to your message in a second. But yeah, Brenda or Shanda, I'll let you sort of speak to the process here.
Go ahead, Brenda, unless you want me to. You go ahead.
Oh, I can do part of it and you can do part of it, whatever.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
we do have a GDG that is pan-Canadian, as well as across a lot of different settings. It's been a lot of fun to try to figure out the different practices in different provinces, because believe it or not, there was a lot more differences than we thought when we started this in 2019, and there's still quite a few differences. It's exciting for me, having been on both, to see how much more standardized a lot of things have gotten. But yes, we come together, as Melissa said, and then we're using an ADAPT methodology, where we're basically taking what's been published in other different guidelines and standards and pulling them together as they're applicable to infusion therapy, as well as reviewing some of the expert consensus. We've got people in this room that have been well known for their different experiences and leadership in the vascular access and infusion world. So we pull together, and when there's not evidence out there, because we all know there's not some for some things and it's not addressed in other guidelines, but we feel it affects Canada, we address it in the CEVA guidelines. So that's what we're working through right now, is getting all those updates, because some of the guidelines have been updated before. We evaluate the guidelines using an agree-to tool to see how strong they are. We do literature reviews for some of the gaps. Like I said, we're mainly using an ADAPT methodology where we can use guidelines that are published, but every now and then we have to go back and say, well, where did they get that? And see if we agree. And then once it's published, we are very excited about the fact that we also translate it into French so that it is truly a pan-Canadian set of guidelines.
Yeah, and we're very focused on making it user-friendly as well. These guidelines, we want, easy access, as Melissa mentioned, for, different hospitals and health authorities to be able to have it available for staff, whether you're an educator on the floor, acute care setting, in community. We want it to be easy access, and but making sure that it's very patient focused as well, right? So we always keep the patient in mind. As part of the guideline group, we bring that up very frequently, is, making sure that it's the guideline, the recommendation is easy to understand, and make sure that best practice, evidence-informed practice, is always number one.
Yeah, and certainly part of our external review process, pardon me, we do have patient reviewers as well. So certainly at the end, when they're ready to go, we sort of get patients and other clinicians. We sometimes put it out to members also to get review. And we have a bunch of strategic partnerships this year with other associations. So CACCN, CANO, IPAC Canada, CAPN, all sorts of groups. So we will certainly be reaching out to them for external review as well, to make sure it's where they can sort of hone in on their expertise. So there are the question we sort of get asked a lot is, will this be in the new ones? Is this coming? Is that what's going to be new? What's going to be changed? So we will have more as we get a little bit further down the process on specific changes from the 2019 version, but we want to give sort of a high level snapshot of some of the changes we can expect here. Like this little red card thing, just in terms of, just want to highlight that piece of the consensus again. I think Jocelyn Hill, who's one of our GDG members, made that little emoji of her as a red card. So the consensus process is around the table. We make sure that we are 100% agreed. If people have a red card, that's what we sort of call it, then we sort of, if somebody has an issue or a question, we really flush it through so we all feel ready to be full green cards. So that's just with that little red card. It always makes me laugh. It looks quite like Jocelyn. I think she would agree. Okay, so some changes we might expect here in addition. So I'll let, again, Brenda and Shanda sort of speak to some of these.
Shanda's going to take this part for us.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, so there's going to be some additions and some changes, more clarification on the guidelines. What is brand new in our 2024 CEVA guidelines is the ANT, which is aseptic no-touch technique. And then also DIVA. DIVA is our difficult IV access. Just giving an example is, we don't want to keep poking that patient. We, as I said, keeping it patient-centered. And you may have heard that ultrasound guidance, using ultrasound guidance, implementing it into practice, if you have recognized that difficult patient. And we actually even have like a little tool, a little easy algorithm to identify, is that patient a DIVA patient, difficult IV access. So ultrasound guidance for that first peripheral IV insertion is going to be more discussed in the guidelines. Patient experience, that's very important too. We want to make sure that our patients have excellent care and knowledge. So explaining the plan to the patient. We will be developing some tools like you might have heard of in the past. CEVA has tools available. If you're a national member, you have access to those tools. So we those teaching tools that we can give our patients and families. More expansion on anti-neoplastic therapy. Brenda mentioned that we are covering a whole large group of practitioners in different areas. So chemotherapy practices, will be mentioned as well. Biological therapy, there's so much, but patient-controlled analgesia is also discussed. Parenteral nutrition, so all those different types of, filtered lines, what to filter, what is considered a vesicant, what's a non-vesicant, good clarification recommendations around that. Blood components and blood products administrations. Every organization should have their own policies. We get that, but sometimes those policies are based on best practice. So we want to make sure that SIVA has these evidence-informed practices from good resources, good research material for organizations across Canada to base their policy on. Occlusion management, we call it OMG, the Occlusion Management Guidelines. So we're actually going to combine that into the 2024 guidelines, and that's something new. And so again, please, if you are a manager or if you are a clinician that is a change agent or a champion in your area, by all means, really encourage your health authority to get access to these SIVA guidelines because it's very beneficial. Brenda, you want to do the new appendices and that? The bundles?
For the sake of time, I'm just going to keep it short, and you can see on the screen some of the items we're adding. We're adding a few things to an appendix. We're still going to have our toolkits and stuff online, but we are going to have some things that are new. We want to do some real setting out a new standard in practice with some things, and one of those that came up was the first item here, the peripheral IV insertion bundles, and how we can really be safer there. A lot of people are focused on central lines, but we know that peripheral lines, almost every patient that comes into a facility has a peripheral line at some point, and all of our infusion patients, we want to make sure that we're capturing quality and safety for those groups. So just a couple of things, and like Shanda said, we're adding to this time. It's new, it's exciting, and we're hoping that you will be excited about them too.
Oh, you're muted, Melissa.
Sorry about that. Oh, it looks like, sorry if the screen is a little bit cut off. I just heard a comment about that. Thank you. So the question everyone's asking, when are they coming? We are aiming for the SIVA conference. So we will have more after this weekend. Next weekend we'll know quickly, or we'll know better idea then, but the plan is to launch them at the SIVA conference. We're in Winnipeg at the end of April. We hope to see you there. It's always a great time. It's our second one back after the pandemic to be in person. We're super excited. So watch this space essentially. Okay, so just watching time. One other thing about the conference we wanted to offer is today we're going to do a flash sale from now until 8 p.m. Eastern. There is an 18%. It was the 8th annual National Day today, so 8 felt too low. So we wanted to make 18% to celebrate today and celebrate you. So the code that you can put on in the delegate registration is national. So if you use that code between now and 8 p.m. Eastern time, you'll get an 18% discount on the conference registration. So if you're on the fence or thinking, oh, I'll do it later, like certainly do it now. Early bird gets the 18%. So we look forward to seeing you in Winnipeg.
And Melissa, what time zone is that? 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you.
So, okay. So just a couple of things. I know there's a few people, actually quite a lot of people on the call who aren't SIVA national members. So this is we'll just kind of do a couple seconds here on a few things you might not know, and certainly benefits that are available to SIVA national members. We've got our SIVA certification. I see a lot of us wearing our SIVA pins and wearing that proudly. So that's a written exam that you can write to become SIVA certified. We have our Cecido Q&A, which is our members forum, which is really, really popular. And we're one of the most active groups on Cecido. So it's where you can post a question and get member answers from across the country. And it's a great way to sort of put your answers and get them quickly responding. So the OMG, as Shanda mentioned, with tools, that will be lumped into the new 2024. The toolkit, so we do have several modules available and more tools will be coming. Sorry, I'm whipping through these. I just want to be conscious of everyone's time. We do have a corporate member industry portal. So if all of our corporate members have a lot of really valuable education, and the industry education portal on the members area of the website is where we sort of house it. So you know, certainly go and check that out. We have webinars. There's actually one coming up on February 7th is our next one. We have a journal, e-newsletter, all sorts of things here. Actually, I see a question. Go ahead, Connie. I'm not sure if Connie, it says I'm asking you to unmute, Connie. You're welcome to chat if you can.
Oh, no, there was no question. I think I touched that by accident. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No problem. Maybe you're just giving a hands up like this.
Yes.
Like, good. Okay. So to get to sort of the fun parts of today and the prizes and stuff. So this is the bingo card that we use. There's a bunch that were submitted. Here's just one. Everyone's kind of, it was a lot. There was a lot of ways to get these points here. So I wasn't sure. Some people submitted and I didn't know if I should share their face. So I apologize. I put a SIVA logo on your face for privacy, but we're so thrilled to sort of see all the SIVA members and sort of participate in this way. So it was a pretty big card. So we've got people with their SIVA guidelines, people with their clean nails. We've got, I love what they've done here with the SIVA guidelines, where they've actually made their own little tabs for the sections for quick access. So these are some of our tools down here in the bottom that I see that this person has laminated and like looks like put on a key ring. Super great idea. Then we've got this clinician here with his sterile setup. These are sort of all things that have come out over the last week or so for people participating in the bingo card, which is great. Again, put some bingo or put some SIVA logos here. Wearing your SIVA certified pin. Love to see that. Some celebratory cakes and cupcakes for the office. Again, the SIVA tools just like posted right up there. Love to see this. I wish I hadn't had to put a logo on this person's face because they are just beaming with a big huge smile. So I'd love to see that too. Some SIVA, SIVA merchandise and swag, and wearing those shirts and bags. Again, some more sterile setup and a dog-eared copy of the SIVA guidelines, certainly being well used. So I have a bit of a draw. I've set it up. I'm going to do a draw for the bingo winners. So we're going to do 2 draws. And depending on who we draw will depend on the prize, because we want to make sure that the prize that you get is what you want. You know, if it's going to be a SIVA membership or a discount on the conference or a copy of the guidelines, but likely you probably already have a copy of the guidelines. So I will do the draw and then I'll get in touch with the winners with what you would like best. So we've done that in the past. It worked really well. So first winner we have for the submitted bingo card is Catherine Hunt from Hamilton Health Sciences in my home city of Hamilton. Congratulations, Catherine. She sent in so many.
She's online too. She's online.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations, Catherine. I will be in touch. I know you did a lot of work to get all those squares filled, and you, I know personally, are a great advocate for SIVA. So we're so thrilled to give you a prize. And the second one is Megan Badwani from Sudbury, from Bayshore. And Megan is actually one of our newest members of the NEO SIVA chapter, which is the Northeastern Ontario SIVA chapter up in Sudbury. So congratulations, Megan. I know it was a group.
She's also online.
Oh, wonderful. Well, congratulations to both of you. You guys did a ton of work, I know, and it was a bit of a group effort getting all of these done. But I hope you had a little bit of fun doing it too, and we're very grateful and congratulations. So I will reach out to both of you for your prize. So I'm just going to pass it over to Janny before I, whoops, let me just stop this. So Janny is our SIVA president, and I'm going to let her share her screen and do a little bit of things here now.
Yeah, there's actually, thanks everybody. And my apologies for being late as well. So it was 12 o'clock Eastern here, and I had a meeting that I was just jumping off of. So I apologize for being late, but truly I just wanted to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation just for all of you, our vascular access experts and enthusiasts who just really do so much for our communities and our populations across Canada. Thank you again to Truly for mentoring your colleagues and your peers, for educating patients and families and supporting best practices in vascular access and infusion therapy. and truly just for your continued advocacy as well, just to ensure that we have a knowledgeable workforce going into the future. I know I work at Hamilton Health Sciences, so I know I'm consistently surrounded by a lot of really knowledgeable healthcare professionals. And I'm very lucky to work with such a great group who's just so keen to drive change and really advance vascular access scholarship and provide that exceptional care to patients and families. But wanted to recognize and acknowledge all of you for being, our specialized vascular access clinicians. Thank you so much again for what you do to inspire all of us, just to champion those best practices and evidence-informed practices and clinical outcomes. I'm really looking forward to the guideline work as well too. I know that our guideline committee, our guideline development group has been working tirelessly throughout the day and night, as Melissa said, and demonstrated through those pictures too. And they've been truly working around the clock to make sure that we have a wonderful resource revised and in place and updated for all of you to reference and use in your workplaces. But again, thank you to everybody. Hope that you all have a chance to enjoy each other and network with one another throughout Canada, but that you have the time and the recognition and the acknowledgement for all the wonderful work that everybody puts in and what you do on a day-to-day basis. So thank you so much. What I'll do now is I'll do a screen share of my Kahoot game. So we do have one last activity just to really wrap things up. And I just have to make sure my sound is enabled as well because there's that jazzy music. So if you can see here, if you're familiar with this, what you need to do is you can go on your website browser or you can go on your phone, take a picture of that QR code, but you're entering in the game pin. And what this is just a game that's going to allow for us to test your knowledge of some of the guideline work, but also some of the implementation toolkit resources. And as people are doing this, I'll explain some of the rules. There's 18 questions in total with about 20 seconds for you to really answer. You get more not prizes. I think there is a prize, right, Melissa? We'll make a prize available.
Yes,
sure, we'll do
we love
that.
prizes.
We'll have prizes available. And we do love prizes. So it looks like we have a good group here. We'll wait a couple more minutes for people to join. But testing your knowledge. And you do get additional points during this game for how fast you respond, how many you get right in a row, how many, like truly you're going up against one another too. So I think it's slowed down. So we're probably okay to start. Oh, a couple more. What do you guys think? Should I get started?
Well, there's quite a competition going to happen, Jenny.
I know. This is exciting. My goodness. Okay, let's see how competitive this group really is. I think we just had a couple just sort of sneak in. So my apologies. I know we're trying to stay on time. So the first one, where should a PICC line be inserted? So choose the color or the answer that corresponds to the right answer. So just wrapping up now. So the correct answer is above the antecubital fossa. My screen is very small because I'm on a laptop, so we'll move on. Whoops, it jumped right through the leaderboard there. Okay, according to ISO color standards, what gauge size does yellow indicate? 14 gauge, 22 gauge, a 24 gauge, or an 18 gauge? What's the final answer? Okay, the correct answer is a 24 gauge for yellow. So Sam J is in the lead right now. Great job, Sam. Why is it important to avoid an area of flexion when selecting a venous site? It's a great meme, by the way. Does it increase the difficulty of access? Does it increase infective risk? Are you avoiding nerve damage? Are you depleting future access for PICC insertions? And the correct answer there is, well, it's really to avoid nerve damage and reduce the risk of dislodgement. Looks like Sam's still in the lead, but JH has a streak with 3 correct answers in a row, so great job. When inserting a PVAD for vesicant infusion, subsequent attempts should be made. Never. You should never use it. You should do it above the previous attempt. You should do it below the previous attempt, or by the ordering prescriber only. And the correct answer there is above the previous attempt. Okay, Sam's still in the lead, and CAA is the highest climber, up 6 places. Great job. You should always choose the biggest gauge catheter for the prescribed therapy. So this is a true or false. Everybody is just selecting really, really quickly. Okay, looks like everyone's responded. So the answer is false. Good job, guys. And Sam's still in the lead. So why is it important to avoid metal needle wing devices? So for example, butterfly needles for infusions. They're only suitable for hypodermoclysis. They're not approved by FDA in Canada. Increases likelihood of allergic reactions and cost loss, and shortens dwell time and increases risk and complications. The correct answer is it shortens dwell time and increases the risk and complications. Great job, Wendy's the highest climber. Okay, where's the optimal CVAD tip placement to position to prevent complications? So this is directly from one of our implementation toolkit resources. Okay, correct answer is it's at or below the cable arterial junction. So NS is back with the answer streak of 3. Good job. To avoid thrombus, the catheter to vein ratio should be equal to or less than, is it 25%, 45%, 50%, or 40%? So the correct answer is 45%. So TR is in the lead now. CH is the highest climber. So what's the big deal about using subclavian insertions? More CLABSIs? Is it pinch-off syndrome? Is it just risk of hitting an artery? Or is it just really difficult to find? Okay, the correct answer. So we have pinch-off syndrome as as a risk for subclavian insertions. TR is still in the lead with Eve as the highest climber. So we're 10 of 18 questions. So what's the best way to remove hair from the proposed vascular access site? Do you shave the area? Do you clip or trim the excessive hair? Should you wax in the direction of hair growth or wax against the direction of hair growth? Correct answer is trim or clip or trim excessive hair. So TR is still in the lead with 3 players reaching an answer streak of 6. Well done, everyone. According to the SIVA DIVA tool, when is ultrasound required? For medium and high risk situations, when you can't see the veins, for those scoring 2 to 3, or for all routine insertions. Correct answer is for those scoring 2 to 3. So combo breaker, 3 players just dropped their answer streak, and TR still in the lead. According to the vessel size flow rate tool, metacarpal veins can allow for how many milliliters per minute? Is it 80? Is it 10? Is it 40? Or is it 250? Those are really big numbers. Correct answer is actually 10 mils per minute. Okay, TR is still in the lead. 13 of 18. So what is the recommended skin antiseptic technique? Is it in to out in concentric circles for 30 seconds? Are you hashtagging it 15 seconds either way? Are you doing out to in with concentric circles? Or it's not really important what direction, so you just need to have a good amount of cleaning time. And the correct answer there is a hashtag motion, 15 seconds vertically, followed by 15 seconds horizontally, or vice versa, really. TR still in the lead. Into the home stretch, 14 of 18. So why are there cultural considerations for heparin use? It's only available to men in some cultures. It's connected with blood transfusions. It's derived from animal products, or there are other alternatives to heparin. Correct answer is it's because it's derived from animal products. TR still in the lead with CH making a comeback with 3 in a row. What's the difference between infiltration and extravasation? They're used synonymously. Infiltration involves necrosis. Extravasation involves necrosis. Or one means inside the vessel, the other one means outside. Okay, the correct answer. Extravasation involves necrosis. So Julia is the highest climber, up 3 places, and TR is still in the lead. So nearing the end, so if available, antidotes are administered for extravasation, true or false? Correct answer there is it's true. Great job. And TR is still in the lead with 6 players reaching answer streak of 5. So why is it important to adhere to a correct order of draw for blood sampling? Is it because blood thins out as more is collected? Is it to avoid carryover of additives into the sample? Is it to allow the lab to process them in the order it was collected? Or is it because of blood coagulation? The correct answer is it avoids carryover of other tube additives into the sample. TR is still in the lead, and Joni is making a comeback with 3 in a row, but it looks very, very close between TR and CW. So this is the very last question, guys. So we'll continue on. So what kind of thrombus is formed when fibrin from a vessel wall injury binds to fibrin covering the catheter surface? So what kind of thrombus is it? Is it intraluminal? Is it a fibrin sheath? Is it a fibrin tail? Or is it a mural thrombus? Correct answer. So it looks like it's a mural thrombus. So we'll see who the winners are right there. We have TR in first place. Congratulations. Usually there's a little bit of a buildup. I'm not sure I just sort of popped up, but we're very, very glad for you. So congratulations, TR being first place, CW in second place, and Kat in third place. So if you can please reach out to Melissa, because we're not sure who all those individuals are, please let us know who you are, and we'll just have to trust that people are saying who they are and that they mean it.
Yeah, feel free to, even if you want to put your
Thanks,
name
everyone.
in the chat, feel free to chat to me, just to me personally, and let me know, and I will get you a prize, because that was a lot of work. I was playing along too, but I don't actually have a clinical background, so I feel like I was bringing the scores down, but I thought I had learned over the years through osmosis, but not so much.
Very close, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us and playing along and really just doing everything you do and celebrating in your own ways today. We hope you feel supported, and we are so grateful for the work you do and for your membership and your support of SIVA. Reach out to us at any time. Do take advantage of that flash sale. Again, the code is national for registering for the conference. and have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye, everybody.